Production support for the weekly special is provided by Smithville, a local provider of fiber optic-based internet, TV, and phone services. Smithville's quantum fiber optic network allows large amounts of data to travel around the world from local homes and businesses. More at smithville.net. IU School of Public Health Bloomington, addressing public health needs by preventing disease, promoting health, and improving quality of life across the state and around the world through research, teaching, and community engagement. publichealth.indiana.edu. And WTIU members, thank you.
It's that time of year again, and all across Indiana, Hoosiers are preparing for the holidays.
And getting used to that winter weather. Tonight, we're going to explore the best ways to enjoy the season. We'll explore the intricate art of ice sculpture at the Indiana Ice Studio. Get lean and mean with Indiana's premier ice hockey team. Journey with the Indiana Railroad as it delivers Santa to children across the state. And learn about hearth cooking with Earth Eats Annie Corrigan. Plus, we'll welcome the world-renowned Tuba Santas as they celebrate their 40th anniversary.
So cuddle up, get warm, and stay tuned for a wintry weekly special.
Welcome to the weekly special. I'm Erica Sagone.
And I'm Daryl Neer, and tonight we're ready to kick off our festivities. Are you ready to go?
Yes, absolutely. I'm really excited for all the winter fun that we've got on the show today, even if the weather makes me want to hibernate just a little bit.
Well, we're going to kick off our holiday celebration with some very special guests, and they'll be with us throughout the show.
And we'll have an opportunity to learn more later, but for now, enjoy the Tuba Santas.
What a great way to start out the show.
I know, you can't help but smile at these guys. Thank you, Tuba Santas. Well, we've profiled a lot of artists on the weekly special, but none quite like this. It's a type of art you have to see to believe.
And have to see quickly before it disappears. Having a flat chisel and a block of ice at midnight is just a really awesome feeling. I'm Stephen Cook, and I'm an ice sculptor. I went to culinary school several years ago and to become a chef, I thought. I realized soon that even though I enjoyed working with food, I would rather work with things and ideas. So then I started doing ice sculpture as a business. It's a transitive art, it's temporal. It's very exciting in one way because I get to do hundreds of different subjects a year, and I get to do them very quickly because ice is pretty easy to work with. The advantages of the carvability allow me to do a great number of subjects, and so I can train my mind as an artist. I can train my eye a lot faster than I would if I was working with marble or bronze, where it would take me 800 hours to do a single piece. It's also kind of elusive. You're always trying to get a nicer finish, a better result. So it's got its own independent spirit that needs to be harnessed, and I can't always do that. because there is going to be an ugly stage, a stage where you can't see what you're doing and you're not sure it's quite there. You can learn to understand the ice, not just visually, but through sight and sound, listening to the ice. You're constantly learning from it. It's constantly teaching me new things about the medium and how light plays inside of it. My desire is that I never stop learning, because I think if I did, I would become stagnant as an artist, and then I might as well hang up the chainsaw at that point. Ice sculpting has taught me a lot of patience. You don't learn the same from success as you do from making mistakes. When something happens that the ice is affected adversely, something breaks or something, I don't panic now. I take it all in stride and I know exactly what to do. The feeling of carving ice is, I don't know, it's just pleasurable, I guess. I don't know the way to put it. It's enjoyable. It's solitude, you know, I love that. Sometimes I think I really enjoy the process of how this chisel feels in my hand, and this piece that I'm working on is really looking better than I expected it to, and I'm excited about it. Art is never finished, it is only abandoned, and that is very true with ice sculpture. As ice melts, it often looks better. Some of the lines are softer, and so that quality of nature acting upon the ice will enhance the sculpture. As it's changing, that moment that you just lost is not coming back. There's something in us that just wants to sit there and stare at it. People like the idea that it's not going to last. There's some magical quality about that. What I want, the thing that I'm looking for, if I do an ice carving competition piece, I want somebody to come up and just say, wow. And that's all I'm looking for.
It's not too late to get an ice sculpture for your own holiday gathering. View more of Stefan's work at his website, indianaicestudio.com.
I saw one of Stefan's pieces at a holiday party earlier this month. It was a falling man from the Mad Men opening. It was phenomenal.
Oh, very cool. Well, we're going to keep the holiday spirit rolling with another song from Tuba Santas. Take it away, guys. Thanks, guys. Always a classic.
Well, it might feel like you need a sled yourself with all that ice out there, but our next subjects are probably using the weather for a little extra practice. Passionate fans flock to Bankers Life Fieldhouse, not for the basketball court, but for the ice rink. The speed, the intensity, and of course, the fights. No one could argue that hockey is an easy sport. It takes years of dedicated training, and for the last 10 years, young men from across the world have been coming to Indiana for their first step into the big leagues.
We are no longer the Indianapolis Ice. We are the Indiana Ice, a member of the United States Hockey League, which is the only Tier 1 league in the United States. These players are anywhere from 16 to 21 years old, and to be frank, they're the best hockey players in the United States for that age group.
16 teams across the Midwest participate in the USHL, a strictly amateur league that allows players to remain eligible for NCAA competition.
A lot of our players come here as kind of a transitional time between their high school years and before they go on to college. This league is one of the foremost feeders for the NCAA Division I schools, so a lot of these players will develop their skills here and then move on to NCAA Division I competition.
So far this year, over 230 USHL players have made college commitments to Division I teams across the nation.
The USHL is an essential and an important step for a lot of these players because it teaches them not just stuff on the ice. It teaches them sort of the intangibles of the career. A lot of stuff about time management, how to live on your own before you're going on to college.
It's kind of like a pro league with the traveling and the coaching style, and you got to earn your ice time, so it's more of a college pro atmosphere. We play 64 games in a season, half at home and half on the road, so time on the bus is pretty common, and you kind of get used to packing and unpacking and getting ready to play in different cities, and it's a blast. If you want to get a college scholarship, this is the place to play. Every team is really deep. There's no easy games throughout the year. You can't go into a game and say this is going to be an easy one. It's a battle every night, and it's a grind, but I love it.
And that model continues to prove successful. Over 200 alumni are currently active players in the NHL, including former Indiana Ice member Torrey Krug, who fought for the Stanley Cup just last year with the Boston Bruins.
These guys you're seeing on the ice right now, this is the future of hockey. These are the players that you're going to be seeing on the NHL rosters. This league isn't just about development on the ice. We try to help each one of these players develop themselves intellectually, academically, and as well as kind of help them create a sense of community. We want these players to walk out of here knowing that they're a better person, they're a better hockey player because of the experiences they had here, not just on the ice, but off the ice as well.
And if you want to watch the excitement yourself, visit their website, indianaice.com, for all the latest game information and dates.
It's so neat to see that we have all that hockey talent right here in Indiana.
Yeah,
Didn't know that.
great amateur talent, and they're feeding the NHL.
Yep, and speaking of talent, we are lucky enough to have those Tuba Santas in the studio with us for the whole show today. We're going to hear from them again right now.
Now that's bringing in the holiday
They're
season.
so fun.
You know, Erica, I think our next subjects could have used some help from Rudolph last week.
Yes, they absolutely could have. Every year, the Indiana Railroad Company brings Santa and his helpers to kids in rural towns, come ice or snow.
No big malls or department stores in Salisbury, and the townspeople wouldn't have it any other way. Santa still comes to visit, but it's how he arrives that draws kids and adults alike. With the blast of the horn, Santa is making his way throughout rural Indiana by train.
Normally in the railroad industry, we spend all of our days trying to move the freight safely, get in and out of town as quickly as possible. This is one weekend of the year where we can come into town and we can stop and pay a visit, meet families and meet kids, and give everybody a little dose of the Christmas spirit in a very special way. Trains and Christmas just go together.
And excited kids waiting to see the man in the red suit.
I'm gonna go on the Santa train. I want to get candy canes and kind of tell him what I want. I like Santa. See Santa.
With a full list of items to tell him about.
Nintendo DS.
Nintendo DS. They've changed their mind. It was Barbies and footballs a minute ago, and now they've upped the ante when we see the real Santa Claus.
A car.
My daughter has been nice this year, so hopefully she's on Santa's good list.
Adults take in the moment as well.
I wanted to experience a Chevy Chase Christmas kind of thing. Small town USA. I love it.
The Santa train started back in 1989, a tradition 20 years strong.
It was an idea that was brought to our president and CEO by some of our employees as a way to reach out to some of the rural communities, the smaller communities along our railroad, where families and kids don't have the chance to come and pay a traditional visit to Santa.
Attendance figures for this year's Santa train shattered those of previous years. Over the 3-day tour, 5,800 people boarded the train to see Santa.
A lot of people tell us stories about their families that had their own experiences on trains in years gone by. And for a lot of the younger kids, you're right, they don't have a chance to ride trains, so it's a chance for them to get on a train and really enjoy it and see what it's all about.
I think the roots for most of us is that first train set that we had set up around the Christmas tree. But there's no better way to experience Christmas and Santa Claus than on a big train like this.
Santa has a busy schedule, so it's off to the next destination, Bloomfield.
You're clear to go at your discretion, sir.
Okay, here we go.
John is the engineer living his childhood dream.
I've always loved trains ever since my first American Flyer train set when I was 2 years old. I just always wanted to, I don't know what it is, there's something about the railroad. I always wanted to be an engineer, and I am one.
But we took an unscheduled stop, a chance for onlookers to enjoy the sight of the Santa train over the Richland Creek Viaduct, also known as Tulip Trestle. It's a half-mile-long train bridge in Greene County. It opened in December of 1906 and is the third longest bridge of its kind in the world.
We have a contingency of enthusiasts and fans that follow the train all weekend long from one stop to the next and take pictures and shoot video, and it's a big event.
Next stop, Bloomfield. While Santa and Mrs. Claus get in their places, the anticipation builds as the kids wait for the train to chug around the corner.
I heard it.
I heard it too.
Justin, you got it. Here it comes.
I
He's waving, look.
Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas!
Head off that
How are you all? Hi!
Some of the kids that Santa Claus first saw on the train all those years ago are now coming with their own children. So it's really come full circle.
I think the second year with this, yeah. Is it our third year?
And chances are they will be back next year to see Santa again. And so will the Indiana Railroad Company.
It's the best day of the year to be a railroader, I can tell you that.
Be sure to visit their website, inrd.com, to learn how you can see the Santa train next year. It was so cute to see those little kids see Santa for the first time and rattle off their wish lists. What do you remember about seeing Santa?
We'd go downtown in North Manchester to visit my dad's store.
Okay.
And there was a mailbox. We could drop a letter to Santa,
Aww.
and then he would always show up, and he'd be there, and he'd know what we'd want. It was
magical.
awesome. Yeah, and you don't have to wait for Santa because we've got Santas right here in the studio. One more time with our Tuba Santas. Thanks, guys. That's another holiday classic. And now, Erica, we've had a lot of ice and cold stories.
We need to warm up.
I think
Let's warm up.
I think you're right. Well, nothing is better after a trip to the ice studio or the ice rink like sitting by an open fire.
Yep, and Annie Corrigan had the opportunity to do just that with Chef Orr, with an Earth Eats spin, of course.
We're in Columbus, Indiana again, and we've been cooking over this fire all day basically. We've got 2 ducks, it looks like, some apples in the back that are stuffed. We've got pumpkins that have been cooking since before I even got here, figs next to it. We've got a whole feast ready for us.
Well, this really shows what you can do in a fireplace. And even if you decide not to go all out like this, when you have your friends over, get a fire going, put some cheese right next to it. It gets it up to an ambient temperature where it's going to taste wonderful. And you can just kind of gather around a fire and it brings you that kind of communal feeling.
Let's talk about the ducks, because that has obviously taken the longest so far. How long ago did you put these on the fire?
Well, these take about an hour and a half to 2 hours, depending on the heat of the fire.
And you started them breast side down to start crisping the skin on the breast side first.
Right. Then I turned them over, and we also have a drip pan down here. So every once in a while what I'll do is I'll take the duck and turn it and catch all those drippings. And that will be a really nice sauce that we can spoon over the sliced duck. We've got the figs in there, a little bit of red wine, a little bit of apple juice. We have the baked brie that we did right over the fire. You can see that kind of got a little smoky and burnt, which is fine. And we can dip that and serve that over biscuits or crackers or crusty bread. We've got some wonderful bread here that Gretchen made. She's an artist and she made a nice Christmas tree for us. We have the different gizzards and livers from the ducks here, some wild rice up in the corner. And then we also have done those garlic cloves.
Oh, I don't know if you can hear that steaming all the way over there.
But smell that.
Oh my gosh, woo!
Okay, so we've just cut off the tops, put a little bit of oil, salt, pepper, a little bit of fresh herbs in there, put them on the slow side of the fire, and now you can just squeeze that out onto bread or squeeze it into our sauce and we'll have a wonderful flavor.
Let's talk about the different heat levels of the fire. So we see that the ducks are towards the front. They're not over the actual fire, but the apples seem to be over the fire itself.
Right, what we're doing with the apples is we're reducing that liquid. So they can be right over a heat like it would be on a stovetop. But so we want to cook down the apple juice and the lemon juice and concentrate those flavors, make sure that the apples get nice and tender and soft. We'll probably pull them off when we pull the ducks off. We'll pull those apples up front, let them sit there and keep warm. And we'll just make a day of eating around the fireplace today. Real Southern Indiana traditional Christmas.
You can learn more about real food and green living on the Earth Eats website. Print off recipes, read the latest in food news, and subscribe to our weekly podcast. It's all available at eartheats.org.
Chef Orr really fit an incredible amount of food in that hearth. I was really impressed.
Yeah, and my mouth started to water as they pulled out that baked brie and the
look
garlic.
delicious?
Oh, yeah. Well, we're going to think about that food a little bit more as we listen to the Tuba Santas.
Well, that was just fantastic. The Tuba Santas are putting me in the best mood. Well, we are happy to welcome Dan Parentoni.
And Dan has been with the Tuba Santas for 20 years and has been helping with the 40th anniversary festivities. And Dan, we thought it would be a great idea to get a sense of about the origins of the Tuba Santas, if you could share with us.
Surely. First, I'd like to recognize this is the Jacob School of Music Tuba Euphonium Quartet. And usually Tuba Santas are made up of students from the school. Because Tuba Santas is original for just Bloomington. That's what it was formed, to bring a civic feeling to the town and to promote the tuba. So it's become a tradition now for the last 40 years. Tuba Christmas was a brainchild of Harvey Phillips also. And what he did was he wanted to honor William Bell, his teacher, who was the first tuba professor here. And he decided, well, he was born on Christmas Day, he died on Christmas Day. And Harvey always thought in big ways, so he put 300 tubas into Rockefeller Center in New York.
Wow.
And that's become a tradition. So Tuba Christmas branched out from that to all the major cities, and now it's celebrated all over the world by tuba euphonium players to bring cheer and fun and promote our instrument.
Yeah, and then you mentioned the promotion of the tuba, and you've got
Well,
another
the promotion of the tuba is still going on. 40 years ago, Harvey organized the first International Tuba Euphonium Conference here at Bloomington. And in May 19th to the 24th, I will be hosting this event again as the 40th anniversary. And there'll be 600 to 800 people coming to Bloomington, tuba players from all over the world. So it should be a great thing that I asked the city to have fun with.
Dan, thanks so much for sharing with us.
My pleasure.
Thanks.
Thank you.
And you can get the latest information on their upcoming events by visiting tubachristmas.com.
And as always, be sure to visit weeklyspecial.org to watch all of tonight's segments plus bonus video.
And Dan, we want to thank you again for coming in, as well as the Tuba Santas.
Yes, thank you. That's all the time that we've got for tonight, but one more time, Tuba Santas.
Production support for the weekly special is provided by Smithville, a local provider of fiber optic-based internet, TV, and phone services. Smithville's quantum fiber optic network allows large amounts of data to travel around the world from local homes and businesses. More at smithville.net. IU School of Public Health Bloomington, addressing public health needs by preventing disease, promoting health, and improving quality of life across the state and around the world through research, teaching, and community engagement. publichealth.indiana.edu. And WTIU members, thank you.